are presenting our current affairs program, Matters of the Moment, from the premises of the Embassy of Islamic Republic of Iran here in Brussels. And we are quite happy to present to you our distinguished guest. He is the person of His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to the Kingdom of Belgium, the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, and he's also the head of the embassy to the European Union. His name is His Excellency Mr. Robatjazi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and welcome.
Thank you very much for your time. Mr. Ambassador, we would want to begin with the thought that Iran is an ancient civilization, continuous, unbroken for thousands of years, and this civilization today has the character of an Islamic republic. Can you educate us in terms of reconciling the past, the historical past of this great civilization with its current configuration as a theocratic state?
Yes, Iranian civilization with its deep connection and interaction with Islam has impacted social, cultural, geopolitical and political aspects of today's Iran in the form of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Iranian civilization has played an important role in the development and formation of identity of the Islamic Republic of Iran. When you study history, you find that Iranian civilization has played an important role in the development of Islamic civilization. And in the Islamic Republic of Iran, the idea and plan for a revival of new Islamic civilization have been raised in recent years repeatedly by our martyred supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei and other officials. And the root of this thinking and idea and plan goes back to the great capacity in terms of material and human capacity that Iran has in reviving new Islamic civilization. Some of the characters of the Iranian civilization are reproduced in the Islamic Republic of Iran, like justice seeking. Islamic Republic of Iran rejects the discrimination against Palestinian people.
Can you educate me a little about the interjection of the word new in your eloquent presentation a moment ago? What does that mean?
New means Islamic civilization that is consistent with current realities, with technological developments of today's world, as well as the wish and will of Muslim people in current world. It's mainly about adopting the existing Islamic civilization with the new realities of the world. And one of the important aspects of the Islamic civilization, which Iranian civilization contributed very much to its development, was they pioneered, Muslim scientists pioneered in science, in the style of Muslim people, the style of life of Muslim people was exemplary at that era, and spirituality, the importance of science and thinking and producing knowledge. So these are the main elements.
Deriving from what you've just said, some would say that Iran is not just a nation state. It's not a nation state. It's a civilizational state society, meaning that there are different people in Iran and different cultures. How has, within the context, within the framework of a theocratic state, how has Iran been able to manage the divergence of views, the differences in cultures within this civilizational state? How has your country found a balance? And what, in your view, do you think the future portends for Iran in terms of its internal politics?
Islamic Republic of Iran has a constitution. And in that constitution, the right of ethnic groups, different ethnic groups, are guaranteed. The constitution states that Iranians, regardless of their dependence to ethnic groups, have equal rights. And color, language, race does not give anybody additional privilege under the Constitution. The religious minorities have the right for association, have the right to vote for their own representative and choose their own representative in the parliament, and they also, ethnic groups can maintain their identity in the context of national unity.
Educate my viewers on an aspect of this affair that I would want a little light to be shed on, because for some people, they think, having read about Persian history, they will tend to think that there is a distinction, not an extension, between Iran's past and Iran's present. For instance, from the view of achievements in human rights, we know from history books that about 1,700 years before the Magna Carta, there was the Cyrus Cylinder, which was presented in form of a Bill of Rights for the people. So the people of Iran, Persia, had an experience of, what their freedoms were. In context of today, has that in any way been compromised? Has the Islamic Republic stamped down on that? Or is it that communication has not been perfect? Because a lot of people would tend to think that in Iran, people don't have the right to express themselves. They don't have the right to freedom. That is what people are fed in some quarters of the international press. How would you disabuse that?
The picture that some try to portray in Western media about human rights in today's Iran is not consistent with the realities on the ground. And we, in our interaction with your colleagues in press, encourage them to travel to Iran, to first-hand see the realities on the ground, rather than relying only on the accounts manufactured by mainstream in the West. Human rights of Iranian citizens are guaranteed under the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And the government of Iran has duty to protect and to protect the rights of the people. They have the right to vote. They have social and economic rights, and they enjoy all the human rights that you are familiar with in Europe. So I would assess that the human rights during the Islamic Republic of Iran, the human rights of the Iranian people have been strengthened, contrary to what you hear in Europe. And we know what is the reason for highlighting the situation of human rights in Iran. Iran is not in line with the policies of Western government led by the United States. Iran is against the racist and apartheid regime in Palestine, the Zionist regime. So in order to demonize Islamic Republic of Iran, they have focused on human rights, and they portray wrong pictures about current affairs in Iran. Iran never claims that it is perfect on human rights, but if you look at other countries, including United States itself, in European countries, many other countries that are neighboring Iran, you will find that none of them are perfect in human rights. So human rights and the protection of human rights needs constant attention. Why they are not highlighted, why their situation is not highlighted, I think your viewers are smart enough to understand and to guess why.
One more thing on this very subject. Can you just very briefly enlighten us on judicial reforms in your country? How is the justice system like? Because some people might, when people get fed with one kind of news all the time, the thinking starts to shift. Now, this is an opportunity for us to know exactly what the judicial system is like in Iran. Can people defend their rights? Are there lawyers? Are there courts? What is the possibility of someone that finds himself contending with an aspect of the law? What right does he have in Iran?
Yes, under the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran, all the people have the right to go to the court and have the right to appeal. So the judicial system in Iran is very similar to the judicial system in Europe. The judicial system is independent from the administrative branch. Judges are independent. Nobody can influence their verdict or the proceedings of any cases. So it's very similar. People have the right to appoint a lawyer. If they are not able financially to appoint a lawyer, the judicial system will help them, assist them to find a lawyer to defend them in the court. And the judge, based on the existing laws, decides how to issue a verdict. So this is a very similar procedure that everybody is familiar with in European countries. But again, you hear a lot of propaganda and manufacture reports about Iran and its judicial system.
And the records of the courts are there. They are accessible. I mean, records of judgments arrived upon in certain litigations, like they have here. They are written and they are filed, they are archived. It's the same in Iran.
Yes, of course. Of course, they are available to the lawyers, and some of them are archived and published on an annual basis. So it depends on the case. It depends on which court we have. There are different courts in Europe. In Iran, we also have different courts. Family court, courts that deal with security matters or security crimes. So courts that are dealing with administrative issues. So it depends on the situation and the nature of the case.
Yes. Over the years, we have witnessed the elimination, if I can put it in that word, of a lot of public officials, experienced politicians, experienced technocrats and scientists in Iran. And I have heard in some quarters the people say that Iran might run out of trained manpower to administer its state if it cannot stop the killing of its highly trained politicians, military technocrats, scientists. What is Iran doing to protect itself?
Iran and Iranian nation are protecting themselves in the face of a savage enemy, an enemy which are United States and the Israeli regime. The regime that does not abide by any rule in international law, that do not respect any humanity, that have committed a genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. So we, Iranian nation, are facing with such enemies, and we are defending ourselves and our scientists our people with the means that are available to us. And we have been successful in doing that. They are wrong that they believe that by killing some scientist or some politician, Islamic Republic of Iran will collapse. The strength of the Islamic Republic of Iran depends or is with the support of its people. And that's the strength that neither US or the Israeli regime are able to crush. Iranian nation have endured many crises throughout the history, and they have survived, and they have overcome, and they have defeated aggressors, and they will continue to do so with trust in God today and in the future.
Now, looking at Iran's unique position in terms of geopolitics, it's surrounded by the Caucasus. You have the Caspian Sea. You have Central Asia. You have the Middle East. You have not far away the Indian subcontinent, the Persian Gulf. Iran seems to be on a hotspot. And it's a big nation in terms of its size, its population, its resources. Do you think there are latitudes of compromise beyond what has been compromised for Iran in terms of protecting its unique position and retaining its influence within the region that I've just talked about? Can Iran do more? Iran is being asked to do more. Can Iran do more without imploding? Without collapsing.
Iran is a country with important geography, and this geography is the gift of God to Iran and Iranian nation. Due to its geopolitical situation, Iran has been able to play important role in shaping regional developments and regional policies. This situation has enabled Iran to spread its influence in the region, to contribute to balance of power and the formation of coalition. Our geographical situation has enabled Iran to increase its engagement capacity with 15 neighbors. We have been able, with this geography, to play an important role in ensuring the security of global energy and the safe passage of global energy. And if you look at the news in recent days, you easily find that the situation in the Strait of Hormuz is one of the headlines of the news and press. And Iran has demonstrated its capability in controlling over the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the claim that the United States was used to make that It is guaranteeing free navigation in the world. In fact, the United States, through its war of aggression against Iran, in association with the Israeli regime, has created an insecure situation in the Strait of Hormuz, misusing this transit passage for providing logistical and military support to its bases that are located in the Arab countries in Persian Gulf. And due to this situation, Iran has demonstrated its leverage over this important geographical situation to protect its security and its sovereignty.
Conditions in the Strait of Hormuz has been likened to a situation that the world is witnessing, the birth of multipolarity or the killing of multipolarity. That is, if the Strait of Hormuz, it's like opened on terms that reinforces unipolarity. How would you relate with this? Will it result in the birth of multipolarity, or will multipolarity be defeated at the Strait of Hormuz, as some people envision?
Yeah. Good question. Review of developments in recent decades in the world shows that unipolarity based on the US hegemony in the world is not going to serve peace and stability of our world. The result of this unipolar world order has been war after war in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Persian Gulf, in Gaza, in support of the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians by Israel. And the latest example, war of aggression against Iran, in violation of the UN Charter and the prohibition of the use of force. So for Iran, a world order based on unipolarity has not brought anything other than sanction, pressure, unjust war, and illegitimate aggression.
Iran calls for collective security in the Middle East. What are the grounds for such a vision? Will, for instance, the Republic of Israel sit down and discuss collective security with Iran? Will the United States do so? What are your hopes for this?
Iran advocates peace, stability, and security in the Persian Gulf and Middle East based on participation of the regional states in developing a security mechanism in the region. And we have always expressed our readiness to cooperate and engage with regional partners that are willing to do so. In our thinking regarding regional peace and security, there is no place for military presence by extra-regional forces, namely United States. The US military presence in our region has not contributed to peace and stability. It has brought war, death, and destruction for the people in the region. Iran has made its decision for several decades. It's up to some countries that rely for their security on the United States to decide how to proceed in the future, given the latest experience that they have had. You cannot buy security or borrow security from extra-regional powers. It's impossible. So, with regard to the Israeli regime, we have a democratic solution. Israeli regime is an occupying power, which is illegally and illegitimately occupying the land of Palestinians, denying their rights to self-determination, and trying to eliminate the issue of Palestine and the right of Palestinian entirely in our region. They have failed for 7 decades to achieve this goal, and they will continue to fail if they do not change course. Israel is the biggest barrier against in front of the two-state, the so-called two-state solution advocated by some Western countries, including European countries. But you don't see any reaction from European countries and Western countries in punishing Israel for rejecting even this two-state solution. The proposal that Iran has made is a democratic proposal. We have proposed that all Palestinians, even Palestinian refugees that are outside of Palestinian territories, should have the right to vote and to decide what kind of future they want and what kind of political system they want. It's quite clear that the result of such a democratic solution will not be an apartheid and racist state in the Palestinian territory.
Okay. Aside from the geopolitical interest of Iran, can you also enlighten some of our viewers who might want to know what Iran's primary interest is in the Palestine? Is it existential or is it on the basis of principle? Okay. Aside from the geopolitical interest of Iran, can you also enlighten some of our viewers who might want to know what Iran's primary interest is in the Palestine? Is it existential or is it on the basis of principle?
It's based on the principle. our support for the Palestinian people is based on the principle. And they are our Muslim brothers. Beyond that, they are human beings, and they have the right to self-determination. And our policy regarding the rejection of occupation is not developed only after the victory of the Islamic Revolution. And this policy goes back to 7 decades ago. So it is deeply rooted in Iranian culture and Iranian civilization, rejection of domination, aggression, and suppression of the right of
Palestinian people. Okay, in terms of the sanctions that have been imposed on Iran, some of them over 40 years old, what measures have Iran taken to protect itself from these sanctions and to reverse this regime of sanctions?
Yes, in face of cruel sanctions that United States and European countries have imposed against Iran, we have adopted different measures to mitigate the effects of sanction. One measure is development of a resistance economy, an economy that can survive in the face of extensive sanction. And we have proved that we can survive. They have sanctions have costed Iranian people. We do not ignore that. But Iranian people have decided not to surrender. So they have decided to resist pressure, to build an independent and self-sufficient economy. At the same time, European countries or the US are not the only avenue for trade. We are developing trade relationship with our neighbors. We are developing trade relationship with Asian countries, African countries. We have a policy of looking east. So we are adopting different measures in order to counter sanction, to resist this pressure, not to surrender, and to defend our independence and sovereignty.
I want to know about the conditions of your country's relations with the various European countries, including Luxembourg, of course, where we are based, in terms of scientific cooperation, cultural exchange, education exchange, etc.
Yeah. Iran is interested in having good, normal relation with European countries or countries member to the European Union. And Iran has an independent policy. No major power can influence our foreign policy. The problem is that European countries that are member of the European Union do not have an independent policy regarding Iran. Their policy is, with regard to Iran, is under the influence of the US policy. Iran and Europe have a very successful experience in terms of development, negotiation, and conclusion of the Iran nuclear deal. And that was a success for the European Union. And Iran did everything it could to implement that deal word by word. But it was United States that exited the plan, and it was Israeli regime with the leadership of war criminal Netanyahu that they did everything to destroy that deal, which was serving peace and stability and the interest of the region and Iran and European countries. Unfortunately, European countries, instead of standing against such destabilizing acts by the US and Israeli regime, they decided to punish Iran for implementing its right under international law and the JCPOA.
Yeah, the JCPOA. So what is it in tatters now? What are the chances that that deal can be renegotiated, or it's dead forever? Are there prospects that we can see a renegotiation, an engagement, let's say a re-engagement on the basis of peace, on the basis of respect and dialogue to resolve the issue of the nuclear project in Iran and the right of Iran to certain aspects of nuclear development according to the agreement Iran signed.
It's quite clear that there is no military solution to the nuclear issue. And the only solution lies in diplomacy. Iran is committed to diplomacy and diplomatic engagement and has proved its commitment, not only in words but also in action. And but success of diplomacy depends on goodwill and on showing seriousness to reach compromise and to reach diplomatic solution. We are not sure that the United States is serious or is having good intention in talks with Iran. We were in the middle of negotiation with the US for 2 times, one in June 2025, the other in February 2026. And in both cases, Trump decided to start a war of aggression against Iran while we were engaged in negotiation. And we had proposed ideas in order to ensure our right under non-proliferation treaty for peaceful uses of nuclear energy, at the same time guarantee that Iran is not going or is not building nuclear weapons.
Finally, I would ask you this question as a bystander, as an observer, and as a human being. Can you put it in context for me to understand how, in the mindset of the average Iranian, he perceives the reality that his representatives are being murdered, his leaders are being assassinated, his negotiators that are engaged in this process are being killed, how, in the mind of a thinking man in Iran, how does this come across?
It reinforces for them a bitter reality. That bitter reality is that you cannot trust the United States. You should never trust Israeli regime. And it reinforces for them the message that US is not thinking about the interest and prosperity of Iranian people or the peace and security of Iran. And these two regimes are the enemy of Iran, and they do not stop at committing any kind of crime against Iran, Iranian representative, Iranian officials in order to achieve their goals. And it reinforces the spirit of resistance in Iranian, that the only way to defend their sovereignty is to resist, to stand against bullying of the US, to reject the Israeli regional order that US and Israel are trying to establish, but unsuccessfully. So these are the feelings of the Iranians. That's why if you look at the images that are coming out from Iran, you see people gathering in the streets under the bombardments, even after the ceasefire, and supporting their armed forces to stand strong and to resist aggressors, and demand negotiators to defend the right of Iranian people.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for the time you've granted us. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I hope we will have the opportunity of engaging you in future.
Thank you very much.